Hi there! Well, today's video is all about charm, but no, this will not be tips to make yourself more charming. It's going to be something a little bit different. This is a question that you need to ask yourself when you are meeting new people, when you are in dating situations, social situations, or even in business interactions. This is a question that is very important to help determine whether or not someone may or may not have your best interests at heart. And that question is this person charming or is this person trying to charm me? Now, this is something that can be difficult to quantify. I knew that I wanted to do this video, but it was really hard for me to sit down and try to explain in words how to know if someone is trying to charm you or whether or not they're just a charming person. A lot of it is based on experience, it's based on instinct. So I really had to put a lot of thought into this and give you 5 ways that you can tell if someone truly is charming or if they are trying to charm you. So the first way is, do they have something to gain from you? Now, oftentimes we can be in situations where the relationship or friendship would be mutually beneficial. This doesn't mean that every time we meet someone that they don't have our best interest at heart or they have something more to gain from us. But sometimes, especially in dating situations or in a business transaction, somebody may have something to gain from us, whether that's financial, whether that's social, or anything like that. It's really important to ask yourself, does this person have something to gain from me if I give them my friendship or my trust? Number 2. Is someone trying to tell you how honest they are or how much you can trust them? Do they keep repeating that? You can trust me. I'm telling you the truth. You have to believe me. You can trust me. Don't worry. Are they really trying to sell you on the fact that they are someone that you can trust and that you can believe in? Or do you find yourself just naturally being drawn toward them? And that's a very important distinction, because if someone is keeping that pressure on, trying to convince you that you need to feel a certain way about them, that should really be a red flag that you might need to be a little bit more cautious in going forward with that relationship. Number 3, do you feel pressured? It's really important to know yourself and to know when you are feeling uncomfortable or stressed in a situation. Is this person making you feel uncomfortable? Are they putting you on a time frame? Are they giving you a false sense of urgency about the situation, trying to force you to make a decision in a time frame that you're not comfortable with? You really want to know if you feel pressured in a situation where you shouldn't, then that should be another red flag that this person may be trying to charm you. Number 4, do you feel as though the person is trying to sell you something? Now, this is going to be a little bit different in a social situation versus a business transaction. Obviously, if you walk into a car dealership, for example, they are trying to sell you something, and that's not necessarily a bad thing. They're trying to do their job. But where the pressure would come in, or where they may be trying to charm you, would be if they set an artificial deadline. If they tell you that if you don't make a decision today that the offer will be rescinded. Those are times when you may want to back off a little bit, to slow things down and let yourself have more time to not feel so pressured in that situation. They should be offering you the information but giving you the time to decide on your own terms. Now, where this becomes a little bit more obvious is in a social or family situation if you feel that someone's trying to sell you something. Most of the time, especially in a dating situation, you should be very naturally drawn to a person. You shouldn't feel as though they are trying to sell you on the idea of themselves. If you are organically drawn to them, if you like them, if you feel that you have the similar goals and ideals in mind, that will become obvious to you in your own time. But if they're trying to tell you, we're a good match for each other, we are right for each other, I'm good for you, that might be something that should be a red flag to you, that you should stop and say, wait a minute, I'm not sure that I'm making this decision for myself. I feel like you were trying to make this decision for me. Number 5, is this person becoming angry or agitated with you if you show the least bit of resistance to their pressure? This is so important, not just for your mental well-being, but your physical well-being as well. You need to be safe. If someone is becoming very angry at you because you are resisting their advances, whether those are physical or financial, that should be a really big warning sign to you. Obviously, they are upset because you're not believing what they say, that you are not being convinced of what they're trying to convince you of, and that should be a very clear sign that you need to stop the situation immediately and either tell them that you need time, you need space to think about it, or you need to remove yourself from that situation physically because you may be in harm's way. No one should ever, especially someone that you're just getting to know, no one should ever be getting angry with you for not seeing their side of things or pressuring you into making a decision before you're ready. Anytime you find yourself in a situation where someone has met any of the 5 criteria that I mentioned before, it is so important that you put a stop to the situation immediately. Now, STOP is an acronym that I actually came up with for myself to help me remember ways to immediately go into that self-protective mode and take back control of the situation. So S is for set boundaries. Immediately tell that person, I'm not comfortable with this, I don't want to do this, I'm not ready to make a decision. They should respect your boundaries. It is so important to recognize if someone is not respecting your boundaries, because someone who has your best interests at heart will not continue to pressure you into making any sort of decision that you are not ready for. The T is for time out. You can put the brakes on a situation. Let that person know that you are feeling pressured, that you're not comfortable with this, that you need more time, whether that's physical space or you need just a chance to respond in a different way. They should respect your need for a time out. The O is for observe behaviors and responses. You need to know for your own physical safety if someone is becoming angry or agitated with you. It's important that you are able to read those cues so you can always keep yourself physically, mentally, and emotionally safe. If someone is becoming agitated with you because you have set boundaries and taken a time out for yourself, that should be a really important warning sign that they are trying to charm you and they are not being charming. They want you to believe their way of thinking, and if you're not doing that, they are becoming upset. If they can't charm you, they are going to harm you. And finally, P is for protect yourself. Whether you are protecting yourself from physical harm or emotional harm or even financial harm, it is so important to be your own best advocate. You have to always put yourself first and go into self-protective mode. I think as women especially, we always are trying to look out for other people's feelings. We never want to make anyone else feel uncomfortable, so we let ourselves be made to feel uncomfortable so we don't ever risk hurting anyone's feelings. And I think it is so important that you recognize immediately a situation that may be harmful to you and to put a stop to it and protect yourself. I hope my information today was helpful to you in determining whether or not someone is charming or if someone is just trying to charm you. If you just think about the criteria that I mentioned, and then if you have determined that any of those criteria fit, immediately put a stop to the situation. Hopefully you can avoid a lot of situations that may cause you any kind of harm. So I thank you so much for watching, and I hope to see you very soon. Bye-bye.